Hello, ladies. We are back. Did you miss us?
Hey y'all. Hey
Well, I
everybody.
missed y'all. I missed y'all. We didn't have an opportunity to talk, of course, as often this week, but we showed up today.
Yep.
And we are ready to have this conversation with you, ladies, and make sure that you chime in with us as we always ask you to do. We will have a special guest to tune in with us, who I said previously, who shows up and shows out quite often. And I know that you will enjoy her on today. So, with our topic on today, I guess for me, as it relates to showing up and being who you are as you show up. I just thought about how, as women, sometimes we may have obstacles that will prohibit us from showing up in the manner that we would want to show up. For example, we've had to strive to make it to be able to get to certain jobs or certain levels in lives that other people may not have had to do because they're not a woman. But we still have to show up, regardless of what we are confronting or what we're facing in our lives. You still have to show up. And showing up can be in a mental form, and it also can be in a physical form of how you're presenting yourself in the public. And oftentimes, what people see, how you present yourself first, you never get a second chance for a first impression. So, making sure that as you prepare to show up, whether it be physically or whether it be mentally, that you are prepared and that you know that you cannot redo that first impression that you have as it relates to presenting yourself to people.
Mhm. That's good.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Very true.
Very true.
That's my very true. I'm gonna pass
I
the
know
mic.
you delegating like you to like over
No,
it. So
I'm gonna pass the mic. Big Marie, what's going on? Y'all, they in their zone tonight. They're like they ready for Christmas. They ready for a break. These ladies been working their butt off. I'm telling y'all, they've been working their butt off. But
we
hey,
have
they showed up. I'm telling you, they showed up. And again, I have as well going back and forth. I'm not home at the moment, but still showing up and being here to have this conversation.
yeah.
V Marie, what's going
Yeah.
on?
I you know what? And when it comes to showing up, I feel like that's in so many different capacities and on so many different levels. Like
Hmm.
when I think of how you showing up, like I think about the boss babes and even the guys out there that have businesses. Like, how are you showing up for your business? Like, how
Hmm.
are you? What's the perception of your business? Like, how are you showing up for it?
Right.
Like, are you branding yourself? Are you strategizing? Or what are you showing people? Like, what are they seeing? What are they getting from you? Is what you're putting out there what you want this perception to be of yourself and your business? So, like,
Mhm.
how you showing up in that way, and of course, the physical way, because when you show up for the first time, when people see you for the first time, the first thing they're noticing is your exterior, outer appearance. They don't
Right.
know who you are inside. And we are human beings. Yeah, people should looking at how you treat them and what you say to them and how good you made them feel. But before it even gets to that point, they're looking at the exterior, the outer. And a lot
Mhm.
of times I tell people what you wear is an expression of who you are and how you feel or whatever. So if you feel good or you are looking to have a great outcome of something, then dress the way you want to be addressed or dress the way you
Mhm.
want things to go for you, even if you're not feeling the best or even if you're going through something. Dress your best because you want the best.
Mhm.
So I feel like that it's showing up it covers more than even what I've stated, but those are the two things that comes to mind initially when I think about the topic of showing up. Like, how are you showing up?
Mhm.
For
So I
yourself.
mean, they may not have. Some people may say, "Well, I may not have the funds or whatever to get certain items that other people say." What would you say to
You
that
don't make
person?
a lot of money. I suggest going to the Goodwill. I even shop at the Goodwill now. Like, go to
Mhm.
the Goodwill, go to affordable thrift stores or thrift
On
shops
a
that
thrifty diva.
That's right. Yeah.
Inches boutique and get yourself together because it doesn't take all of that. And the good thing about shopping at Goodwills or thrifty diva or thrifty stores is that you're gonna find gems. You're gonna find items that's not in Shein. Nothing against Shein or
Right.
Best or nothing against these places, but you're gonna
Mhm.
find eclectic type items or items that are where did you get that from? Because you're gonna be one of a kind. Nobody's gonna be walking around looking like you. So that's a
Mhm.
lot of the reasons why I even go for the affordability and for they don't make clothes like they make them. They used to make them. So when you go to thrift stores and stuff, you get quality pieces for a
Mhm.
small price. They don't even make it. It's fast shipping or whatever they call it now. Fast fashion. So they're
Yeah.
making clothes like this or whatever. It's like there's no quality. It's thin. It's cute and it's trendy, but it's like, oh, but
Yeah.
you can get this shirt for $5 to $7, but it's like very thin. When you wash it, it's gonna draw up. But you go to
Yeah.
Thrifty Boutique or any other thrifty store or the Goodwill or whatever, you're gonna get some good
Mhm.
items. So that's my advice, Cynthia. Like if it's someone that's not have a
Mhm.
lot of money, to shop secondhand and things like that. And I have to throw a little tip out there.
Mhm.
As far as a style tip, I would say invest in pieces that can be worn differently. So
Yeah.
invest in pieces that has a lot of versatility, things that you can wear so differently that people can't even remember you wore it yesterday. So just
Yeah.
invest in pieces like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didi, what's going on? How you showing up, hun?
Well, just like Vanessa just said, showing up can mean it's so many variables to it. To
Mhm.
me, when you said the word showing up, it made me think about when I first opened um, my store, and I had somebody say, What do you do on the days that you don't have a lot of business? What do you do on the days that
Mhm.
your door is not swinging open?" I say, "I
Mhm.
still show up.
That's right.
Show up. I still
So
come in here. I still dress my mannequins and make my display every day, and I still come in here and work like it's a whole bunch of people in here. I still show up every single day. I don't quit just because I have a day that I
mhm.
don't have a lot of people, a lot of traffic. I still show up because this is my business. This is my baby.
Mhm.
This is what I do. So
Mhm.
to me, that's what showing up is. It means showing up even when it's not good, even when you
Yeah.
don't feel like showing up.
Right. Yes.
When you're not in a good space to show up, you still show up. Like that to me speaks volumes.
Right,
Yep.
right. I was getting ready to say on a mental level, gosh, there's so much that we have gone through this year. So many people we've lost and everything, but you still have to keep pushing, and
Yeah.
you don't know, a lot of times you're pushing for more than just yourself. You're pushing for your families and your loved ones and just continue to show up. But I'm ready to show this powerhouse. Oh my God. I just went excited. Our special guest. Let me tell you, when I say she shows up and she shows out everywhere, she shows up and she shows out
And
everywhere.
that's her favorite phrase.
Yeah.
Show up.
And she's y'all gonna have the proof tonight. I'm gonna tell you, you will not be disappointed. So without further ado, I'm going to have to bring on Miss Tabitha B.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's
Hey,
up?
girl,
What's
hey.
up?
Hey sis.
How you
Y'all,
Listen,
she shows up. I don't care what's going on. And she showed up for me with another organization with Beyond Empowerment faithfully. She was there working after hours, just being there, showing up in that capacity. And I've seen her show up in so many other capacities, helping other people, but still been able to hold up everything that she had going on and multiple things she had going on personally, professionally. And she
Oh
still showed up.
Lord.
You would have never known.
Honey, she shows up for you now. She gonna show up.
Mhm.
That's what, that's
Look,
what
she
it's all
showed.
about.
Yeah, look, she showed up and then she bounced right off. But here she
Bounce right
Where
on
she
here.
went?
There
Oh,
she
there
go.
she go. There she go.
are you gonna show? I did all that talking and then you gonna bounce off. Come on now,
nah, y'all,
come on.
it's the show up queen herself. So,
Yes.
um, I don't feel well. I don't have on no makeup. I got caught in a wreck, but I'm still here.
You
You
still here.
showed
That's what
up.
we're talking about. Showing up.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes, yes,
Tabitha,
yes.
D, what you got for us today? I know you got something.
I mean, what's up? What's y'all catch me up
All
because
right,
I am
so
a little tardy to the party. So I
yeah.
do please excuse my absence, but the show up queen had to make it. So just catch me up and let me know what I need to bring to the table today.
Bring to
Good
the
evening,
table.
ladies.
Listen, we're bringing to the table how women can show up or how we need to show up physically and mentally, regardless of what's going on. How has showing up impacted you?
I mean, showing up has impacted me quite a bit. I think that showing up is a part of my brand story at this
Yeah.
point. I'm known to show up and to quite often show out, but definitely to show up despite what challenges I might have going on personally. And I
Your
Uh oh.
volume went out.
Oh,
You're muted.
you muted.
Unmuted.
Can
There
you
we go.
hear me?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Now we
Okay,
can.
awesome. So sometimes I'll be very honest to say that that show up can be toxic, right? There
Mhm.
sometimes you don't need to show up. Sometimes you need to take a break. Sometimes you
That's
need to
correct.
sit down somewhere. But
That's
let's not use that as an excuse because some of y'all be trying to not show up and oh, I'm rebranding. Oh, I'm starting over, baby. You ain't started. So we need you to get a brand before you can rebrand it. But in all serious though, I think that there is a time and a season where we have reasons where we may be in the back end, but then there's a time in the season where you just need to show up. Showing up
right.
has blessed me so much. I've been going Facebook Live since Facebook Live was a thing. So since the
Wow.
year 2016, and I've probably booked over 60K in speaking gigs simply from my live videos. These
Mhm.
are people who hadn't seen me on a real stage, hadn't seen me, actually in my element, but because of my ability to show up on live. I know I've gotten mentees and people sign up for She Is Me because of showing up. People call me for business consulting because of showing up. So it's really been an ultimate blessing to me, just being able to show up and show out. And then when I show up, the excellence that comes along with that. So knowing that follow up game too. So always showing up. I'm team show up.
Yeah. So we're preparing for showing up. What does that entail for everybody? I mean, I know it's resting. I know you mentioned about resting. You got to get rest. You got to refill before you can give to anybody else. So what does that entail? What does that look like for you ladies preparing to show up?
First,
Well,
so oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Well, for me, like you said, mentally, you have to get yourself in a. It goes back to last week when we talked about self care.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're not in a mental space, you can't show up for nobody.
Right.
Like nobody, you won't be able to show up for nobody. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, in preparation to show up every day, I have to make sure I'm in a good headspace.
Right.
Because I mean, if you just the things that's going on in this world alone, if you like sit and dwell on that stuff, you literally won't be like, it'll make you like almost, you won't want to do nothing, like your head to be so messed up.
Yeah.
So for me, being able to show up, you have to be in a good mental space. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's so important.
Mm-hmm. What were you getting ready to say, Vanessa?
Being familiar with the topic at hand. It just depends on what you're showing up for. Just being prepared to say what it is that you need to say, or being prepared to just sit back and watch. Being prepared as far as like making sure you have the materials to take notes, or whatever. If you're even going to a speaking engagement and you're going to hear like some people talk, learn some new information, like you need to be prepared to show up. So show up with whatever you need to take those notes, and show up with whatever you need to say what you need to say.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's you're speaking or if you're hearing or listening to someone speak, you need to be prepared. So I feel like that's how I prepare, is knowing what role I'm going to play in wherever space I'm in. Like I just need to prepare. Like I'm just one of those persons. Like, what are we doing? Okay, what's going on? So I can prepare myself for it mentally,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and physically. But
Right.
that's what I like to know, like what I'm wearing, what the vibe
Mm-hmm.
like. That's how I prepare. I need
Yeah.
to know every aspect of wherever I'm going, like what's it going to be like.
Listen, I'm putting these shout outs out here on here while you're speaking as well. We had a hello from Miss Wright. We had a hello from Marion SD Concerned Parents. They love Miss Dee. They love her live.
Oh,
Love y'all too.
Thank y'all for showing up. And y'all mentioned about self care. The ladies that are tuning in with us tonight,
Oh yeah.
please share your affirmations that you did on last week. If you don't mind, what type of affirmation did you do? I woke up that next morning and I tried that affirmation that Dee Dee talked about, and it felt so good just to be able to affirm myself and continue to affirm myself as the days went on. Anybody in the chat that used that affirmation for themselves like throughout the week? We had somebody that said that they were going to do it. Or any of you ladies want to chime in on some things that y'all did?
Well, I mean, I do them all the time, anyways.
What did you do throughout the week?
Well, my same routine that I always do. I always affirm myself. I got the same affirmations I say every single day. It's like I've made it into this prayer that I do every single day, every morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I pretty much do that all the time. It's just a normal for me now, a part of my
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Thank you, sis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey sis, how are you? Me, I didn't do the writing down like I said I would start doing, but
Mhm.
I do infuse mine with like my prayer. My
Right.
affirmations is infused like with my prayer. Like I'm praying and then I'm trusting and believing the prayer and following through like with what I said I want, like believing God for what it is that I'm asking for, whatever it is that
Right.
I need, or just guiding me for guidance or whatever, discernment, whatever it is that it is. I'm just believing and trusting or whatever, but also, spewing out those positive things or whatever and believing that they're gonna, come and
Mhm.
that they'll stay or whatever, and just try to project the same thing. That's a lot of affirmation for me,
Right.
projecting and also, just speaking that over me
Right.
um, instead of writing it down. But I'm gonna try to do the writing down.
Tabitha D, is there anything that you do in preparing? Do you do affirmations as you prepare to just show up for any?
Yeah, so I do. I too, like Vanessa, I don't necessarily write mine out, but I
Mhm.
do say them. So
Right.
I'm a words person, so I say them a lot. I start my day every day with at least a scripture, and if I am doing a Bible plan, I read that at the top of the morning. And then as I'm getting ready, I'm repeating different affirmations to myself, whether it's about being enough, whether it's about it's gonna pay off. It just really depends on what season of life I'm in, but I'm
Mhm.
always using those affirmations to keep myself going.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. Shine says hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Shine. But yes, Tabitha, D, I think that's important too. Prayer at the top, of the
Yeah, at
morning.
the top. I love that.
If
At the
you're
Yes.
not
top.
talking to Jesus and them or whoever it is that you talk to, because I want anybody saying I'm forcing Jesus and them on me. I'm not.
Yes.
Whoever you talk to, but I talk to Jesus and them. Perfect,
Me too. Me too, sis.
But, so whoever you talk to at the top of your morning, let that be your routine, your guide to help you as you're pulling these things together. But ladies, we just want to be able to just encourage you to show up. Just continue to show up. Life can be hard. You are faced with mental challenges all the time. But just making sure that you're putting those things at the top to help you progress through your day, to help you progress through your week. It's step by step, moment by moment, day by day. Sometimes that's how we have to take it, moment by moment. Just
Fair.
to be able to fulfill the things that we need to do. Any final thoughts that you have? Start with
I
you.
me. I would just say, just stay positive, keep the affirmations going, continue to show up. Yes, I told you all, like initially showing up to me, it's the mental capacity, but it's like how are you showing up physically and for yourself, wherever room you stepping in, and how are you showing up for your business? Like
Mhm.
what are you putting out there? Like what are people seeing? What images or what kind of perception are you putting out there for yourself and for your business or whatever it is you have going on?
Mhm.
So I would say stay positive and just keep in mind what you're showing, how you're showing up. Ask
Mhm.
yourself, how are you showing up in different aspects? How are you showing up? Are you
Right,
preparing yourself for how you show up?
right.
That's a question. That's a great question to ask yourself and kind of write the answers down. Like some of
Mhm.
the things that you were doing. That's a good takeaway I would take away from this live is kind of jot down some of those things about how are you showing up and how you want to show up, how you want to improve on how you show up or whatever.
Right.
Kind of those things like that and how you're going to execute.
Right. And Didi, before you go, I just want to read this comment that Shine stated. If there's anything I have learned, and that is that Black women deserve respect, to be admired, treated better, and try to keep your chin up. So thanks for that encouragement. Keeping your chin up,
Thank
lady.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree. Like I said earlier, showing up to me is showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Mhm.
That's showing up to me. When I don't
Mhm.
even want to get out the bed, I don't even feel like some days I just want to stay in the bed. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So for me to get up, get dressed, go to the gym, then go to work, to me that's showing up because
Right.
some days I do have to push myself.
Mhm.
Um, and you just have to have that drive to be able to do it. So that's what I would say. Even in business and life, either way, like you just literally have to have enough drive in you to push yourself to keep going, even if you don't feel like it. You still need to show up. And show up, like Vanessa said, make sure you look good when you show up. Because you cannot.
I got, I'm an advocate for that now, so I can't over that part.
I want you to pull that part.
I know how to show up.
You got to show up for real, because you don't get a second chance on a first impression.
That's right.
Come on.
Right.
That's right. Tabitha D.
Yeah, I'd say check your heart posture, ladies, right? Why are you showing up, right? What are your motives, and what is the reason that you're showing up? Does that match your character? Because a lot of times when you step into spaces, especially as a business owner, there will be opportunities that do not match who you are and your character. So are you willing to show up for that, or are you willing to show up your character and say I'm gonna leave that alone, right? So check your heart posture in your showing up, because I will be like these ladies, and that's why I reach out to them a lot, like, yo, what I'm supposed to look like, how this supposed to go, as I begin to step into different arenas. But at the end of the day, what is your heart posture in this showing up, right? What is your ultimate motive, and what is your end goal, right? Because some of y'all, and it's no shade, no foul, you're not showing up at home for your families or for yourself, but you out here trying to show up in the world, and your
Come on here,
your home
you better
situation,
preach.
you got a hot mess going on. Your first ministry, your first inspirational situation, your first business, all of that's home. So take
Come
care of that,
on,
right?
sis.
I knew I needed to be on this live tonight, but I had to come pick my mama up, so I'm doing it in my hot room, So it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna make sure I take care of what needs to be taken care of. And so I haven't always been this person.
Yeah.
For me to talk about that now, because especially as Black women that are, we do a lot, and so sometimes our showing up is our way to cover up. So what I want you all to do is to take those masks off and take care of home and show up for home.
Come
and
on,
show up in
sis.
the world.
Y'all, somebody put that in the chat. Show up for home.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
that.
Please, somebody put
Oh.
What was
And
the last one?
Tabitha D, you frozen, but we can still hear you. So keep
She
talking.
frozen, honey. She frozen, but we still hear her. Where's that offering plate? Because my sis just preached. Okay.
Show up for home.
She knows she don't need to get me started. She better be quiet.
Go ahead, DD. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Because she already know.
Listen, I'm gonna put up. I'm not gonna put it on. I was gonna put it on this video, but I wanted to show clearly. But once we get off this live, I am gonna put a photo of Tabitha with her contact information, so that you can contact her if you need to reach out to her. She has so many things, services, and things that she can offer to you. Miss Tabitha D, can you speak so we can know we can hear you clearly?
Yes, I can hear y'all. Can y'all?
Okay, good. So I am going to share your contact information so that people can reach out to you. But can you share what type of services that you do offer before we end the live?
Sure. So my way of showing up in the world, I like to say I'm a doublepreneur, because my 9-to-5 entrepreneur life is in business consulting. So you can come to me for business strategy, market strategy, growth, those types of things. In my secondary entrepreneurial world, I work in nonprofit social enterprise lens. I am the executive director of a mentor organization, She Is Me, and I work with other organizations that are more grassroots and looking to get off the ground. So I offer some of those same kind of consulting services that I offer in the business world. I do that with nonprofits and small brands also. So I kind of coin myself as a doublepreneur. I'm also a speaker and an author and a motivator and all of those amazing things. So, hit me up if you need me for any of those services. My favorite of all is definitely speaking, running this mouth of mine, because that is how I got started in the entrepreneurial lane. So as you probably know, having this little cold is really not my friend right now, but we're here, we're showing up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Maybe we'll have you tonight. But ladies, we look forward to continuing to see you now next Wednesday for our midweek soiree. We want to encourage you once again this week, keep showing up. Keep doing your thing, keep pushing, and keep going no matter what. Take rest when you have to take rest, but get back up and show up again.
Keep
All right.
affirming yourselves.
That's right. And keep affirming yourselves. And we will, everybody else hang tight. Everybody else, and then the ladies who are on the live, watching the live, we'll see you next time.